This video is especially for TwinFlames and for everybody who is interested in special development. Hi there! This video is especially for TwinFlames and for everybody who is interested in spiritual development. I share my story with you, the story about my spiritual path, because maybe you can learn from it, and I really like to share it with you. So in this video I'm going to talk about a trip that I made before in 2014. That was to an island in the Caribbean Sea that is called Bonaire. And I did already a video before about that island, actually the half of the trip. And I always want to make the second part, but I never did it. So here comes the second part. Just to tell very shortly, I got awakened about with a big energy explosion in the heart center. That was in 2012, and it was the beginning of my spiritual path. After that I got into a very big psychosis by a spirit of fear. I got saved from that, and actually half a year later I got an intuition like, hey, let's go to the Caribbean islands, let's go to Bonaire. And I know someone, he told me like, hey, they have a donkey sanctuary there, you can volunteer there for work. And so I contacted them, said yeah, they come, and then I went over there. And that's actually where the first part of the story from the other video started. I got, actually I should stay there for half a year at the donkey sanctuary, but it went only for 8 days. And after 8 days I didn't like it anymore, how things were going there, and they told me to leave. And I just had a bicycle from the donkey sanctuary. I didn't know the island, everything was very expensive. I had only a little bit of money. And I just went into the desert there, like, asking people where to go. And I came to a surf hostel with people that do professional windsurfing, like a really big, beautiful house. And therefore, not so much money. I could stay, and I got a job for a short while as an electrician. And that's how I started to stay there. So now comes the part of the story. Just before I left, I got an intuition like that I should start drawing. I'm not an artist. I never created art before. So it was an intuition. So I got some materials to start, and actually everything went by itself. So I just started to create like little arts like these. And of course they have to have the symbols, but it's not really meaningful for me at that time. It was just like being creative. Here's another one. It's with the flower of life. Let me see, like this. And yeah, it's all very colorful, but it was just very natural for me to start like that. I took the materials with me on my trip, and actually when I came at the surf hostel, after I was there I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks, then it just started to happen. After my work at night, I was sitting with the young people that do the windsurfing there. I was sitting with them and having a good time and talking. And then all of a sudden I was drawing, and it just started by itself. It was like almost like magic that came over me, and things started to go by itself. And I just was sitting there and creating all these arts. And the first one was like this one. It was a star that I draw. Actually everything was like just on feeling, on my intuition, on guidance. And this started actually at the beginning of my search, because I wanted to know what kind of star this was. And first I thought I knew it from a movie from Lord of the Rings. Of course I watched that movie, and it was not the same star. So, and then I started to search, and I found out that it was an octagram. This octagram has also like a pentagram above here. I find these now on the internet sometimes, but I will tell you more about that later. So these were actually the drawings that I started to make, like a peace symbol with the flower of life on the back side. It was like I was working on it like all evening, all night, and I really started to have fun with it. And then the circles started to come in, and I started to create arts like these. drawings. Just very colorful and just all circles. And then I got this one. It's all the beginning, the beginning of what I'm making now. So let's see, I got this one. I must say the G is actually the first letter of my name. And in the beginning I didn't know how to sign them, or actually the G came later on. And the G stands also for my spirit, my guides, they show themselves to me like G. And then I made this one. This was already like quite impressive, I think. And don't forget, I never drew before. This just came all by itself. And then this one came. This one has already like a lot of eyes, and it looks actually like a tree. Something like that. So, to come back to this drawing, I was searching for this star. And I found out it was an octagram. And the octagram, you got like this like an 8-pointed star, but you got like all kinds of 6, 7, even up to 10 or more. And by the search, I came out to this piece of art, and that is made by, this is a wood carving that is made by Basil Valentine. I'm not sure, I think he was German. It's about 1613 this was made, and you can find this on the internet, and it's called the Azot, and you can see here the Azot. So that was the beginning of my search, like what is Azot. Then first I started to create, I bought some, because people say, hey, you draw very nice, buy a little bit more quality paper. So I went to a shop, I bought like other pencils, like more high quality pencils and paper, and then I started to create this. And this is already like it's getting already more, it's different than these kinds of drawings, and they are very meaningful. Now maybe you see some wormholes, or like energy circles, or whatever you want to call them, places you go into different dimensions with the eyes and stuff. But in other videos I will start to explain more what they mean. And that was the beginning of a journey that I actually yesterday evening, I find out actually that it is like a whole path that I've been walking with different stages in my spiritual development, and it's going somewhere, and I never understood that. So then that time there was a moment I had to make a choice between how can you call it, light and darkness, good and bad, whatever, you know, because I had a past life quite like connected to the dark side, and now I was waking up for the light side, and the light side was really like pushing me in that direction. But of course the whole dark side was still over me, so I had to let go, and that was an enormous process that took me like really a couple of years to get really over that. And even last year I was really had some last tests from that. But this was the drawing that I made. It's maybe nice to know this one is called Down the Rabbit Hole. Everybody knows that a title like that, I think, but it was really, I was going down the rabbit hole. And this one is like choice. I call this one choice. And you can see here, it's like a rainbow snake. You can see it have an eye here and an eye here. And it's like a rainbow snake with the world in the middle that is going over the line of that rainbow. It's actually like an energy line that has like the border to the two sides. And here you can see like the dark side. I got all kinds of symbols in there that in that time I thought it was useful to do that, like fear. You got like here like a pentagram upside down pointing to the low with 666, like nuclear stuff and new world order, and like really money, being attached to money and communism and religion, like when it's like really to stay in power, you know. Whatever, tax. Yeah, I didn't like tax. War and YOLO. YOLO means you only live once. There were all kinds of young people there with hats that time. YOLO, YOLO. So that's how I got it idea to put it there. But actually I was guided to do it. I say me, but I was really guided. And the other side you can see like love and peace and 777 and my star. You can see my star here in the that I draw at the first drawing. And I had to make a choice. I really had to make a choice to let go of my old life and to join my new life, or not. And it was like the Caribbean Sea is like very, very beautiful. They have a lot of coral reefs. So a lot of the colors, I was snorkeling in the daytime a lot. And a lot of the colors I picked also from the fish that I saw in the coral reefs, like the different colored fish. They inspired me to choose that time the colors. To come back to the Azot, it's somewhere here. It doesn't matter. I lost it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. To come back to the Azot, and now I think the magical part was already starting. First, I was in the hostel, in a hostel room with I think like 6 other guys. We all had different beds, and we shared this room. There was some more people coming in, and one moment we were 10 people there. But after a while, it's starting to get a little bit more quiet. Some people left, and they had like a few little bungalows on the side, but they were like all taken. And there was one guy, he was like, I'm not gonna call his name because maybe he doesn't like that. But he was like also a windsurfing guy and a very nice guy. And I spoke with him many times already. And then they came to me and they said, hey, would you like to join with him in the bungalow? Because the other guy that he shares the bungalow with is going home. So we have a place for free. And if you just want to be like a little bit like a night guard here at the hostel in the evening, then we can give you the bungalow for free, no problem. And I was very happy with it because I had almost no money, and I had this little job that actually after 2 months I had to quit that job. And I made some money from that, so it was okay, but they offered me that, so I was very, very happy. The moment I stepped in that bungalow, the guy started like, hey, you know about spirituality or not? And I was like, yeah, because I was open to the others about that. And he said, yeah, I cannot talk with anybody about it, but I do spirituality already for many years. But he had some problems. And so I'm not going to go too deep in his problems, but we started to talk and we got a real good connection. And in the daytime, he was going out on the surfboard and doing his windsurfing. They had like a beautiful beach with a lagoon that was so beautiful, the blue colored water and the white sand, and yeah, really beautiful. And they all windsurfing there, like a little windsurfing paradise. And I would go there also a lot, but also many times I would stay in the room and I was drawing and I was like being connected because I got all kinds of high energies coming to me, and it was like really a very interesting experience actually. And I could talk with him about it. It was very nice. Then one day I was searching for this Azot. So I came from my other drawing from the octagram, I came to this picture Azot that lead me to a video about Azot that was from Gnostic students, and that is like a spiritual school from New York, and they do online courses, and they had only 5 lectures that time online. So there were like 5 lectures, each lecture was like about 2 hours, and one of these lectures was about Azot. And I didn't know what Azot was. I mean, I have no idea about Azot. I didn't know this drawing. I only know that I was really like, I needed to go search for that. I don't know why. And yeah, then it all happened. Like for one day, I made like I had a feeling that I wanted to create an art that looks like this, but then very different. So you can see this is the sun and this is the moon, and this is a lion that eats a phoenix. Yeah, this is a firebird like a phoenix, and the lion eats the phoenix. The sun and the moon, they come together, and that is the story about the Azot. I sit in the morning one day. I already had like a drawing with an 8 like this. Actually, this 8, just only the lines, nothing more. I had it already on paper, and for a few days I didn't know what to do with it. I made a little phoenix here inside, and I said no, that's not it, and I took it out. And then I was listening to the lecture, and the lecture about the Azot was so amazing, and it brought me such a high energy state that I really needed to do. I got in a trance. And then one day in the morning, my friend, he was just making himself ready to go to the beach for windsurfing. I sit in the room with a little table with a chair. On my drawing, I started to draw the A, the first letter of Azot. The rest was not there, it just was only the 8, no colors, nothing. And then the Kundalini started like really here from under in the back, like from my spine. I felt an enormous energy rising, and before I knew it, I felt the Kundalini coming like two little sparks, like going as two snakes going like this on my spine and going up, going up the spine, and yeah, the enormous going above my head, and I felt like I was like burning, like, but a really nice energy feeling. It was enormous. And he was just like, "Are you alright?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm alright." And he said, "Okay, I go." And he went out, and the whole day I was in this enormous energy, and I created, this drawing. And like I said, only the drawing. I didn't color anything. It was just like this, and yeah, it was really amazing. Actually, I didn't know what I was drawing. I had no idea. I was completely taken over, and it took me a long time to understand what actually was happening to me. But yes, like really beautiful. So this one is not the original, of course. I printed this one on canvas because I wanted to do other videos that I'm gonna explain about the whole drawing, what it all means, and it's alchemical. It's about salt, mercury, sulfur, and the fourth element azot, and it's something really nice, really beautiful. The funny part is I'm a lion, I'm a Leo, so I'm a fire sign. That's actually the main astrology sign for my chart, and my friend, he is like a Gemini, so actually he is like air, an air sign. But in alchemical terms, they have the Mercury, and the Mercury is connected to the Gemini. There is like air and water comes together. They're actually one because they belong together. And he was like air and water because he was windsurfing all day. So he's on the water. He loves the water, it's his passion, but also the wind, because he needs wind or else he cannot windsurf. So all day he was like looking, how is the wind? How is the wind? And there's a strong wind, and he went like, yeah, and then he went quickly to the beach to windsurf. And I was fire, so I was the Leo. So what you got air, water, and fire. It's the three elements. And then you got earth, that is the salt. But we were these three elements, and we are salt because we are material, our bodies, So that was really funny how that came together, and like you can see, like this looks like a sunbow. And the next day when I had drawing the sun of this drawing, before I started to color it, I went outside and I saw an enormous sunbow, and I never saw one like that before. So I was really amazed about that. And the next day I started to color this. It was really beautiful. After that, I made a few other drawings, and my journey ended there in Bonaire. We all went separate ways. My friend also, we all went separate ways. But this was the beginning of, actually, this was my second, no, the third, because I went to a spiritual school. I had a Kundalini explosion there, and then I had my first one, the heart opening here. So it was my third really big transformation. Really big transformation. And I had no idea that they all were connected. I had no idea. And last night I find it out that they're all connected. So it's really amazing. Because last year, after that, I started to make a lot of after that I started to make a lot of other drawings. But this is the original size. So they only started to get bigger and more interesting. And just to show you quickly what I'm working on now, and I show that already also in my videos sometimes. Now I'm working on this one. So, and I think this is going to be the last one, because yesterday I get really big intuitions that my path is like really getting a big change now, soon. And I don't know exactly the day or the week or whatever, but very soon. But I'm gonna talk about it more in other videos. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it, what I have to say and what I show you. And this is just the beginning of more videos that I'm gonna make, explaining actually what happened to me on my spiritual journey, how I figured out that there was a twin flame inside, because now you can see that I started really like to make the twin soul. I made another video as well that I made another drawing as well that there is a twin flame, but actually in the symbolism, there's a lot of drawings in the symbolism that you start to see that it's about twin flames. And I had the feeling my whole life already there was something missing, and also really something missing, and this whole life, this whole system didn't make any sense for me, and I just felt I didn't belong here, but I do. I really have something to do here. So that's what I'm gonna show you in other videos. So more to come. I hope that you like this one. If you want to comment something, just go ahead, I will answer. I have my email, so you can send me a message if you like. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.